Hello. Oh, my face. Hello. Welcome in, everyone. Today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a different video. I really wanted to do a video on my AFK Journey character tier list. So, a little bit of reasoning as to why I wanted to make this video was because on Monday we were talking about Sia and Kayanaya and what makes me like or dislike a character, and I wanted to explore that a little bit more and also give my opinion because I have a lot of opinions. I have strong opinions, so I wanted to make this video. But yes, we also have a little bit of rules when it comes to this, and also some things we want to talk about first. So I'm going to move to the side a little bit, put myself over here while I put the rules. Okay. So first, we're going to be rating all heroes. So if they're playable, we're going to be talking about them. And then about supporting characters, we're going to rate some, but not everyone. Because the number one rule I wanted to have when it comes to supporting characters is that they have to have a name and a face. So, for example, I don't care how attractive Bandit Archer Captain is. She doesn't have a name, therefore we can't rate them. Also, for characters like Aemon, who is Ludovic's best friend or the grandfather of Carolina and Callan, we're not going to be rating him, even though he has a name. We don't have a face. We don't have that much to go off of, only their relationship. And then that brings us into the next thing. So they must have at least 2 quests or some sort of PV or a relationship with a hero. So for example, like Peggy, we're going to be talking about Peggy. So she doesn't appear in that many quests, but she is in the Valentine's PV, and she does have at least one quest within AFK Journey. I'm pretty sure. But she was the one who saved Rowan from the Adamant Syndicate. And she does have a relationship with a hero, because Rowan is a playable character. So she has a relationship with him, so we are going to be rating her. And now that we got out of the way who we're going to be rating, we have to go into what we're going to be rating about them specifically. So we're going to be rating their personality, how they look, their appearance, how they make me feel generally, and then their interactions with other characters. And then as a note, the criteria are not going to be like, they don't have equal weight. So personality is probably going to be like the highest standard, and then appearance, and then probably actually interactions with others, and then the general feel. But I don't know, I don't have all of the ratios worked out yet, so we're going to do that live. And then, yes. So with all of that out of the way, we are going to begin our tier list. And I wanted to start off with the Lightbearers. So as another note is that I don't think we're going to have enough time to go through all of the factions today. So I'm going to try to go faction by faction. So yes, so we're going to start off with Lightbearers. And in no particular order, this is just how my computer automatically sorted them. So, yes, here we are. This is my tier list. Okay, so I guess we're going to start off with Dolly. I love Dolly. We're also going to be counting Chippy and Hammy as Lightbearers, because I'm pretty sure Merlin is a Lightbearer. And that's normally where we start. Like, that's where we start in the series. So I guess appearance-wise, Dolly's adorable. She also has a sweet personality. She's always by your side. I don't really have much to say about her. Nothing negative, really. I would like to see her more, honestly. I want to put her in S, but I don't know. I feel like my heart is telling me A. Like, I don't know. She's really sweet. I just feel like we don't see enough of her. Like, she's definitely in a lot of TVs and things. And she's one of the very first characters we see. Yeah, she's a good character. Very cute appearance-wise. Her voice is stellar. I want her accent. I just feel like there's something missing. I don't know what that is. So I'm going to actually put her in A. Although my heart feels like S is the right choice, I feel like we need something else with her. I guess next we can talk about Peggy. Actually, I completely forgot about Peggy until someone actually mentioned her. Because I did ask, I made a post about characters and if I missed anybody. And turns out I did. I missed a lot, actually. But I'm very thankful because there was at least 3 different people who helped me expand the list. So first, our very own UJ. Then I also asked a creator named Danger Gray, who suggested a lot. They know a lot about lore. The AFK Journey lore. And then we also asked PB and Gabe. So Gabe was actually the one who suggested Peggy. So out of Peggy, we know, about Peggy, we know that she is, I believe, princess. Like, she has high ranking in the Lightbearer Empire. She's also engaged to Rowan. She's very, like, lively. She's only been kind. I know she has kind of like a I don't know, she feels like she has like a really bold and strong energy. But she's not mean or anything. I'm gonna say that she's A as well. Maybe B? She really went out. No, I'm gonna actually rate her A instead of B because she went out of her way to protect Rowan. She obviously cares about Rowan. Yeah, she doesn't seem that bratty, so she seems like a good character. I guess we could go into Franz. Next. I don't like Franz. Okay? I don't like him because Franz is one of those characters who, similar to Sia and other characters that we're going to talk about in the future, like Yrmir for the Wilder faction, and also like the Hierophant. Remember how I was mentioning it live, but I don't like these people who purposefully harm others. That's kind of has to do with their interaction with others. On the criteria list, I don't think he has a particularly good personality. He just wants to like manipulate people and control people so that he can have more wealth. So no, I'm not his biggest fan. But I mean, I don't think he directly called any hypogeans, so I don't think he deserves like F tier. I'm gonna say like E and F for like really the worst people around. I'm gonna put him at, so E and F are going to be basically people who call the hypogeans directly and who know what they're doing. They're not a pawn. They're not being manipulated. I'm leaning towards putting him in D. Because he's pretty bad, but we're going to get through worse. So next on the list is Tamisha. I know this order is kind of random, but this is just the way that my computer did it. So Tamisha. One thing that I do like about Tamisha, so I don't like how she's like generally not that expressive, but I do like how she is very loyal and she's faithful as well, like to Jura, and then she tries to do her best to keep everything in order. She's like literally like on an alignment scale, lawful good. Um, hmm. I don't like her as much as I like Dolly though, so I'm actually gonna put Tamisha in B. We might come back to it. I don't like how she's not that expressive. I also don't like her outfit. I do like this like mark on her forehead. I don't know what that was design wise, but I enjoyed that. Next is the Hierophant. I'm sorry about this picture being so bad. I could not find like a full like picture of him. This is just like literally clipped from an announcement I saw. The Hierophant, I don't exactly know what happened to him. So what we heard from Carolina was that, from Valka, was that the Hierophant was a good guy who let Carolina come into the temple sometimes, not the temple, but like the graveyard, to like pay her respects. But I don't feel like he does much, and especially with that cutscene that we saw when we were playing Rodrigo, he only like encouraged the Archduke to like pray. He didn't really offer like some sort of like, I don't know what his like duty as Hierophant is. I feel like he failed in that duty. So I don't think he's a bad guy. I just don't feel like he was active enough. And I think that kind of ruined it for everyone. But he is definitely better than Hans, who is literally like outright manipulating people. I'm gonna put him in C. Next we have Atalanta. And I feel like I got off on the wrong foot with Atalanta. I don't know, I have like a love-hate relationship with her. Design-wise, she's very pretty. But I feel like that's one of like the only things she has really going for her. Because she kind of, I believe the way that we met was that like she was stealing, right? She's like a bounty hunter or like a... So, and she also was the one who took the faith stone, but at the same time, she did it to save Tamisha. So, see, that's what I mean. She has like, she's good and bad. I don't know. I feel like there was like a different way. Would I say that I dislike her as much as I dislike the Hierophant? Do I even dislike the Hierophant? Let's think. I'm gonna put her after Tamisha, but I think she is gonna stay on B. No. Oh, because I can't bring myself to like her, even though I want to. She's kind of like harsh in her way of speaking, and I do dislike that. I don't like that she's very, not like self-centered, but like she doesn't make an effort to help people. And I know that she kind of did with like the Satrana thing, but I feel like everything kind of just boils down to herself, kind of, and like her close-knit group. I'm not necessarily saying that's like a bad thing, but I feel like when I like a character is when they're more kind and more gentle in personality, and I just don't feel like Atlanta does that for me. So let's go into Faye next. Faye, I kind of like Faye, and design-wise, she kind of looks like me, doesn't she? Brown hair, brown like wavy hair. I think she's cute. I know a lot of people don't like her. They just want her to be quiet. I read that on like some of the forums. But I'm quite fond of her. I'm not gonna put her in A because again, she kind of suffers like the same thing a little bit as Dolly, where I don't have enough of her. And what we do see of her is more like wanting to enter the Serene Lyceum. So we only see her desire, but we don't really see who she is currently. So I feel like that's kind of her struggle at the moment. I'm gonna put her above Atalanta and above the Hierophant, but still in the C category. But I do like how she, but again, we don't have enough of her like interactions with other characters. And there's just like a lot we're missing from Faye in general. Merrily, I don't really enjoy Merrily as a character. I feel kind of the same way about her and Atalanta. Now she's definitely like nicer than Atalanta. I would probably put her like right around here. But she doesn't have like a strong pull in the story, not yet. She's not even good in like Honor Duel. I might be kind of traumatized because she doesn't do much whenever I draw her. Special isn't even there. But again, we said we're not going to be rating this off of their like skills. More so about how they appear in the story. I think she kind of suffers like with the same thing as like Faye and Dolly, how we don't really see them interact with others. I'm actually going to put it right here. Oops, did I move the wrong thing? Okay, next is Sia. I think we all know how I feel about this guy. And I'm gonna have to put him F tier. And I already know I dislike him. So I guess as a quick rundown. So him and Cryanaya are bad morally. And I don't like them because they're just so cruel. And we're gonna go into it with we're gonna rate Cryanaya when she's in the Hypogean category. But with Sia, I could just put in the clip about where I talked about it on stream. I just feel like he was so bad. He manipulated the Archduke, I think his name is Sigmund, when he was already like devastated and from losing his daughter, and he knew what he was doing. He knew about the war that had happened in that land, in that area, and he knew the suffering that the people were going through, and then just didn't care. He was just like, I gotta be better. You're gonna listen to me. I'm the strongest. And I just feel like he's probably one of the most despicable characters in the game. I don't know if we can really like top how bad he is. Next, we're gonna go Hammy. I love Hammy. She's so cute. She's at least in A category just by existing. Should we find Chippy too? Let me go ahead and find Chippy and put Chippy on the list as well. Oh, when it comes to Chippy and Hammy, I like them both equally, but differently depending on the story, the quest that day. Yes. At least in A, both of them. But they've always stayed by our side. They've always tried to help us. I wouldn't say that they're S tier. No, I kind of feel like they're S tier. Because you know what? More than anyone, they're by our side. They're actively trying to help people. There's never a time when they have like malicious intention. They always mean good. Although like Chippy, he did like slip up in the beginning of what is the season called? Chains of Eternity. He was kind of judging the Greythorns. So that does stick with me. But I feel like we all make mistakes sometimes. Like nobody's 100% perfect. So I still feel like they're pretty elite. Let's look at the next people. So we have Luca next. Luca. You know, appearance-wise, he's not really my type, but I do like his personality. If you remember that side quest, when he was helping, I don't remember their names, was it Little Mac or something? But he made an effort to stick his neck out for someone he didn't really know, just because he felt like it was, like he felt like he could help, he felt like he could change, like he could make a difference. And I felt like that's a really nice quality to have. We're gonna put him in A, and then also he is a strong major character with serving under Sonia, and I can't really say anything bad because everything he's done has been under Sonia's like jurisdiction. Like, he never did anything to spite us specifically because he disliked us as Merlin. So I'm gonna put him in A. Sinbad. Ah, man, I have a love-hate relationship with this guy. If you saw me play Waves of Intrigue live, you would know that I was kind of like roller coaster. Like, the second I saw him, I was like, oh my gosh, I love him, he's great. And then I heard how his name was Sinbad, and I was like, I don't have good memories with Sinbads. Generally, they're pretty sleazy, pretty, like, really, like, if you look through media, and I'm specifically talking a little bit about Magi, but not just Magi, a lot of other Sinbad interpretations kind of make him as like a sleazy kind of guy. And I don't know, I didn't like that. And he did actively betray us at some point, so I do like remember that. But at the same time, we did have the water white symbol on us, so it makes sense that he thought we were bad people. But I don't know, I feel like he went really like underhanded to get to that point, you know? So like, he could have just turned us in. He didn't have to pretend to be our friend and lead us on this journey and all of that. But you know what, it was because of him we were able to save Chippy. So can we... No, we would have saved Chippy either way. We would have saved Chippy either way. He's a good guy though. Like, I wouldn't say that Sinbad is a bad guy. We did start off on the wrong foot, but he's not a bad guy. So I feel like he deserves A. I feel like he deserves A. Valen. I kind of feel like we don't get much of Valen anyway, but now that I'm looking at it, he kind of looks like Faye. Who's the same like Ahoge, the brown hair, the purple eyes. Even like the accents, yellow. It's interesting. But I like Valen. I remember somebody said one time that he's so baby girl. So I'm actually... He is a good guy. I do feel like he's kind of like Sinbad, a little bit, like, not sleazy, but... I don't know, like... Actually, I kind of want to put... I don't know, I feel like maybe not Sinbad, but Valen goes in B. Either A or B, like low A or high B. Valen's good too. Like, he actively helps people. He's actively like a member of the guard. I'm actually gonna put Sinbad kind of at the bottom of A, because, you know, he did betray us. Like, I'm not gonna, like, I don't know, I feel some type of way about that. Corin? Who even is him? Who even is this guy? Who even is he? I have to look it up. My anxiety. Wow, I can't find any information on him. When I Google him, it's all like his stats and his skills and stuff. So I'm actually gonna open AFK Journey right now and then just see if I can read on him a little bit. Maybe on like his lore. I do remember he's the one who lost his arm, and then he actively helped Damien. So that's a good thing. The Wilder. And his arms came from Damien. So that's something we can note. I don't know, I don't feel like he's memorable. Like, how is he like a hero and I don't remember who he is? Okay, after doing a little bit of reading about some of his tales and stuff, I do see that he's a good guy. He's a little bit reluctant. So he wants to thank Damien for his help, the Wilder. But he doesn't really know how to say thank you. So actually, he's exactly kind of like Tamisha, in my opinion. Because they're just not as expressive as I want them to be. He's a lot less memorable than Tamisha. Maybe he even belongs in C, just because, although I like Faye, but I don't really remember her. Oops. So I'm gonna move these people down, and I'm gonna put him right next to Faye. I feel like that's fair, because he's not as memorable. Like, I remember exactly who Tamisha is and what she did. But not so much Damien. I don't even know if it was a side quest or a main quest where we were like helping him, finding Damien and everything. Next, we're gonna go into Hugin. So I actually really enjoy Hugin, even before, like, so he did try to did try to shoot us down one time, before he and Sinbad talked, and then Sinbad was like, yeah, they're cool. He was like, oh, are they? And then he's been pretty chill since then, and he even like he's even like come to our aid sometimes, especially with like Carolina and Ludovic with the whole Callan situation. And after that, he always like trusted us. He trusted our magic abilities. So after our initial misunderstanding, he kind of showed up for us like every other time. So I'm gonna put him on S, and he doesn't like judge anyone. He's just like really he does his job. He's just awesome. He's just awesome. I don't have any notes. He's funny. He has a great voice. Next is Princess Yelena. I will always kind of be traumatized by the whole situation. But I actually really like Princess Yelena. She is probably the person who got the worst treatment in the entire Chains of Eternity. Let me think. Oh, Princess Yelena herself was good, like, the whole time. She was literally, like, on the verge of death, still maintained a kind and positive attitude. Like, literally no notes. Like, even during the festival and everything, she didn't try to make her, like, she's just kind, and she doesn't even require us to call her princess, even though she has that right and that kind of authority. She didn't require, like, she didn't want that of us. She just wanted to be, like, our friend, and I value that. Next, we have Sonia. I started off on the wrong foot. I don't think I liked her at first, but of course, as time grew on, I am in favor of Sonia. She only started treating us kind of nicely when she needed us, though. But after that, it was all smooth sailing. I'm trying to think if she deserved A position. Like S position. Or A. So I guess I want to order it like this. No, Peggy is better than Valen. You know what? Maybe Peggy should be up earlier. Because Peggy is also very kind. Like, her energy is different than her, like, I wouldn't say that she's like tsundere, but she kind of has like that kind of, not fully, but she kind of has that like aura, that energy. So I'm actually gonna leave her up there. I definitely like, well, I feel like this is the right order. I feel like that's the right order. Tessio? Okay, so I kind of mentioned this, like, somebody who... Okay, so did this man call Hypogeans? No. He called Gravethorns. So he's not as bad as Sia, but he is pretty bad because he basically adopted Sonia, and because of that, he tried to use that to, like, manipulate her. And he also actively backstabbed Sonia, and then just wanted her to be cool with it, basically. So I'm gonna put him with D, and then he is worse than Franz. No, he's better than Franz. No, he's worse. They're both bad. Because they both did, but I don't think he, like, acted, like, he didn't use magic to try to, like, manipulate people. He just used manipulation tactics. And you know what? He is bad, because you know what? He didn't even protect the people, like Sinbad's family, like the women on that island, not island, but in the outskirts, from the Water Whites, which kind of made Sinbad the way he was. So I'm gonna say that he's, wait, I'm gonna say he's worse than Franz. No, but wait, because it's so tricky, because he, like, literally, okay, I'm gonna say that Franz is worse. Because not only was he using, like, words, they both used words to manipulate people, but Franz also used magic as well. And who knows where he would have stopped, you know? And I think Franz, now that I'm thinking about it, I think he did actually end up calling a Hypo GM, but I'm not sure if that's what he wanted, or Hypo Fiends. Next, Hogan. I have very high opinion of Hogan because similarly to Hardhead, I mean, what's his name? Hugin? Hogan also has been by our side the entire time. Even when we forgot about this man, like, we actively did not remember who he was. I feel bad. But he still stood by our side and makes an effort to see us, but never pressure us. So I feel like he's a really good guy. And I'm gonna put him above Chippy and Hammy, just because we remembered Chippy and Hammy. You know, like, he had more reason to be upset with us and still wasn't. He still stood by our side. He was still patient. He still gives us like all of the attention and everything. Let's talk about Rowan next. I don't like how he actively had an issue with Muriel before knowing anything. But he is also a kid. I can't be mad. He is very real. You know what I mean? He has real feelings that make sense. I kind of want to keep him with Peggy because I feel like they're a cute couple, you know? I'm glad that they're affectionate towards each other and not just like forced to get married. But I can't like, I don't think I can in good faith put him above like Luca. Can I put him above Sonia? Probably. I'm gonna put him above Sonia, but not above Luca. And I do want to take note that the reason why Luca can score a little bit higher than Sonia is because Luca's job is to serve Sonia. So, like, not all of his actions were things that he wanted to do. Sometimes it was because Sonia wanted to do it. And then he has to listen to those orders. So, yes. I think this is right so far. And then the Archduke. I do have strong opinions about him. I hate how he tried... I don't think he's a bad man. I don't think so. But we can't put him in S, and I'll talk about why. But basically, he's a dad who loved his daughter, but she was slowly dying. So he tried to save her, but instead of like figuring out what she wanted, he locked her inside her castle. And they couldn't even give her decorations or anything like that because he was worried because of the flowers, they might have something in it that makes her more sick. So he ended up like caging her. So his hurt ended up hurting the person he loved the most. So I'm gonna put him in A, just from when Princess Yelena died. But then it gets even worse because not only did he not let her go, he like move on. He actively tried to bring her back and trampled on everyone else's like warnings and stuff. So like very best B. He ignored Ludovic. He obviously didn't help the Graveborns in any capacity. Or they would be welcomed more, you know, at least in his reign. Also quickly betrayed he also actively betrayed Dura so quickly. And I would even say that he kind of messed up the Hierophant too. Because what happened exactly? Because of the situation with Sigmund and Princess Yelena, then they, like, so I think because of the Archduke, the Hierophant also fell because they ended up calling Cryonia. So that must have been what we're missing, right? I feel like I'm coming up with theories right now, out of nowhere. But I at least feel like he has to be worse than the Hierophant, now that I'm thinking about it. Do I think he's a bad person, like Tessio, Franz, and Sia? No. I think he's a good man, and he had moments of weakness. So I'm going to put him in C. We're going to put him below C, though. Then Rodrigo. Similar to Luca, he can't just work on his own, you know? He has to work under the order of Archduke, right? So I believe he's a good man, but he couldn't stand up to the Archduke and ended up causing, well, he did actually try to help Princess Helena, but it didn't work in the end. And he ended up just like, if we remember from his like cutscene, I'm gonna put him in a high A because he did try. He was doing what he could, even though he could have been in trouble from going against the Archduke. I feel like he's kind of like an unsung hero. Like, we didn't talk about him enough. We don't even see his face. We do see his armor though, so that's why he's on the list. We have a physical representation of him. Vala. I don't feel like we talk much about her. So she was one of like the first wave of characters, like with Franz and Tessio. I don't really have strong opinions of her, to be honest. I guess I would put her like, would I put her? No, I would put her above Atalanta because she was never like unkind. She was kind of, I guess, snarky to Franz, but I guess maybe she could have known ahead of time kind of what happened. So I'm gonna put her right here. And her ad when she came out was really cool. I guess her like character trailer. I don't think she's particularly good or bad. I don't have really strong opinions about her. So then Lucius. Kind of funny. He's kind of goofy. I do feel like his voice changed midway through though. I feel like most people are A and C. My shield is unbreakable. I'm trying to think of where I think he should go. Again, we don't know too much about him. I kind of feel like he deserves B just for being here. Like, I don't remember what he did. Other than, like, serving Dura and all of that. We're just gonna move on. I think B is fine for him. So we're gonna go into Elucia. And then, similar to Sia, she was someone who actively called upon the not Graveborns, but, what's it called? The Hypogeans. Oh, no. I accidentally scrolled the screen. Is it still right on here? Yeah, looks good. So I'm automatically gonna put her in F. I just have to decide if she's better or worse than Sia. I'm gonna actually make her better than Sia. Because he masqueraded as a good guy. Elucia didn't do that. Like, she was just bad. Like, you at least knew where she stood the whole time. And I feel like that's at least, like, her benefit. Like, we knew she was bad, but she did terrible stuff. But he was worse, because he pretended to be good. When he, like I said it before, we expected better from Sia than we did Elucia. We knew Elucia was bad off the jump. But not Sia. Cassidy. I actually really like Cassidy. I think she has a really cute design. I'm not sure how I feel like this. I just don't like stuffy clothes, so like this part, not really feeling. But I like her hair, I like her eyes, I like her little hat. Her skill is at least better than Marilee's. I like how soft-spoken she is. Once she finds... So she's always liked Merlin. So... She would... When she found out who we were, she was like so interested. She wanted to learn more about us. She was like doing like a disposition on us. What is it? Exhortation? I don't know what it's called. But basically, like, she actively liked us, and she was always kind to like us and Lorsen and everything. So I'm gonna put her in A. I just need to figure out where in A she belongs. I'm trying to think, because like Luca, he is someone who, despite orders, well, no, he didn't like. Hold on. Peggy, she didn't have to like go through anything to, well, hold on. So I can't, because look, Peggy and Rowan, not Rowan, what's his face, Luca? I think she belongs kind of either on this side or this side. Because Rowan didn't go out of his way. I think they're kind of in like a similar position. I'm going to put Cassidy above Rowan. Because Cassidy didn't do like anything necessarily to save us. You know, like she was good and she was helping us. But she wasn't like actively on our side, or, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to say this, but like, she wasn't in like danger. She didn't need to pick between like us or herself. So we don't have enough. I don't feel like we don't have enough. I feel like we don't have enough information about her or her character. And then this guy, Walker. I don't remember much about him. I do remember that we met him in the, what is it called? Barren Wasteland, but like, what is that? It's not Waves of Intrigue. It was before Waves of Intrigue. What was the first season with Soren and Elsa? So he was like a bounty hunter who wanted to beat us to get to Satrana's fortune telling. He's not like a good guy. I wouldn't say he's a bad guy though. I would say that he's like literally right after Satrana. Well, because he wasn't a bad guy. He was just trying to get to the fortune before us, you know? He didn't have all of the information that he could have used. Like, I'm gonna put him like right here, above the Hierophant and Sigmund. The Archduke. Muriel. I love Muriel. She's gorgeous. And she's also very like kind and like she's affectionate. You know what I mean? Like, she's very poetic. I was about to put her in S, but I don't think she belongs in S. She definitely belongs somewhere in A. But where in A? She's similar to like Hogan in that we forgot her. But she never actively harmed us. She didn't go out of her way to like defend herself either. She's someone who kind of just like went with the flow. Like, I'm gonna say that, does she belong in S? Because she wasn't unkind to us, and she has like a gentle personality. Elegant. I feel like maybe Yelena deserves to go above Hugin. No, wait, because I feel like that order was right. Let's see. I have to compare her to everyone. I'm gonna put her above Dolly because we didn't forget Dolly. And Muriel would help us no matter what. Like, I get that feeling. She admires us. But she didn't like purposely stick out her neck like Rodrigo did. So that's why he gets to be above her, but not the others. I feel like they're not in their little square, but it's okay. It's fine. And whoa, that was all the Lightbearers. Let me make sure. Is that everyone? That looks like all the Lightbearers. Wow. So wow, there's nobody in the E category. Should we put Alucia in E? Was there somebody who was... I don't think there's anybody who really like deserves the E position. So I'm actually quite satisfied with this. Let me know what you guys thought. Did I mess up any of the ratings? Let me know. Who deserves to go higher or lower? Please don't comment on the format or how well everybody's like, because nobody's snapping into place, you know? But please let me know in the comments below how you thought and how would you rate them. Don't forget to subscribe if you like my content. I'm gonna be live playing AFK Journey Monday. So, yes. Move myself over here now. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Have a good one. See you next time. Stay sweet. Bye.